Oh, capybaras, you're so cute. You're so fluffy and... Wait just a minute. Who's that? Oh my God, he's so cute. Look at his little hands. Step aside, other cute animals, for your liege lord hath arrived. Tonight, sea otters get head pat, belly rubbed.
Die perfekte Freunde.
Aw, yeah, motherfucking sea otters, bitch. I love it.
Yeah, dude, these animals, I love cappies, but these animals take the taco, in my opinion. This is probably the cutest animal that exists on the planet, and anybody that disagrees with me is stupid and wrong and need not even reply.
Deserves instant death.
Yeah,
Remember that time that otter threatened you, dude?
That wasn't a sea otter, though.
That wasn't?
That was not a sea otter.
It was a river otter, right?
It was a river otter.
Yeah.
Paul actually might even have been on that trip with us to the zoo. I think he actually was. I don't think he saw that, though. But me and TJ walked up to a river otter exhibit, and it jumped down from its little perch, looked at me, and was like it's just a little squeaking thing, was looking right at me, and she just what the fuck did you do?
The sea otter. A bunch of other people were walking by. Otter didn't give a shit, but for some reason, it zeroed in right on Scotty and was like, ah! It's like, Jesus, that otter's pissed at you. What did you fucking do to it?
Look, I don't want to talk about what happened that night.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus.
I just don't want to talk about it.
Jesus, boy.
Scotty
these the
plays
ones-
his cards close to his chest with stuff like that, dude.
Are the sea otters the ones? Please tell me this is true. Are they the ones that have a little stone?
Yes.
No in home.
Okay.
They do.
Just
have their
confirmed.
little
It's one of the cutest animals for that.
So goddamn cute.
So the sea otter is the largest member of the weasel family and also the smallest marine mammal. So that's double cute. If you're the tiniest mammal, in an environment, typically you're going to be super ultra cute. They're actually bigger than you might think. Male sea otters usually weigh between 49 and 99 pounds, so they can reach almost 100 pounds in weight.
Yeah.
They're about 3'11" to 4'11" in length from nose to tail. There have been specimens up to 119 pounds recorded, so it's thought that sea otters can get much bigger than they appear, uniformly. Females are smaller. They range between 31 and 73 pounds, about 3 foot 3 inches to 4 foot 7 inches in length, so a little smaller than their male counterparts. They have another distinction here. They have the thickest fur in the animal kingdom, bar none.
Damn. Yeah, it has to be watertight,
Absolutely.
Can't let any water get down to the skin, so they got to have a nice thick coat for that reason.
They have over 1 million hairs per square inch of their body. 1 million hairs per square inch.
That's fucking crazy. That doesn't even seem how does that even work?
By comparison, the average human being, even hairy ones like me and TJ, we have about 100,000 hairs total on their head. Sea otters have 1 million hairs per square inch on their body.
Well, they need it, man.
Yep. So due to the thickness of their fur, sea otters look much larger on land with their fur dry than they do in water. So when they're up on land and their fur's dry, you can really get a kind of an idea of the size of these animals. They look very sleek in the water. And so they look kind of smaller than they may actually be.
Well, I know we all have seen one in person because you've been to the aquarium in New Orleans, huh, Paul?
No. Well, yeah.
Oh.
Actually, I did go to the aquarium in New Orleans. Most of my experience with sea otters, though, comes from the Monterey Bay Aquarium in California. They've got a sea otter observatory there, where they've got a sanctuary cove down there, and they've got great telescopes where you can just sit up there and watch them from afar. So I've done that quite a few times in my life, but they're great.
They look a lot bigger than you would think. They're I remember oh, it's an otter, but you see them swimming Not only are they fast in the water, they're a lot bigger than you would expect. Even though you're hearing 100 pounds, they look way bigger than that.
Yep. So the reason they're so hairy is because they lack the blubber that other marine mammals use to keep warm. So other marine mammals like whales and stuff have this huge coat of blubber that insulates their internal organs. Sea otters don't have any blubber, or not much, and so they rely on their fur exclusively to keep them warm in what can be very icy, cold conditions in the water. Obviously, anybody that's ever been in the ocean knows that it's not exactly a warm dip, especially in the areas you see highlighted here.
I mean, off the coast of Alaska and shit. No,
and you can see there the stripe of Californian sea otter that I have observed. That is right around the central coast of California, where, you know, just a couple 100 miles from where I grew up, and I've spent a lot of time there observing those. They're absolutely cute. They're just some of the most adorable animals. In fact, the picture that we started this from was a whole group of California sea otters, as pictured from the Monterey Bay Aquarium. So,
okay.
They were nearly hunted to extinction for their fur in the late 1700s and 1800s. Commercial harvest, luxurious fur, super warm. Obviously, you get like a sea otter fur coat, and, you know, very utilitarian, especially in these areas. But
right, especially it's virtually waterproof. So.
Waterproof and the warmest fur you can get on the planet, period. So obviously human beings in cold areas are going to use that. But, human beings multiplied to the point where these creatures were basically hunted almost to the brink of extinction. The population went from about 150,000 to 300,000 individuals worldwide, which is considered their healthy, stable population. So they're not an animal that's super numerous anyway. The world population fell to about 1,000 to 2,000 individuals.
Ooh.
So that's pretty much species collapse is what we would call that. They live now in a fraction of their historic range. There was a subsequent international ban.
See that here on this map here.
Yeah. There was a subsequent international ban on the hunting of sea otters and other conservation efforts and reintroduction programs into previously populated areas. And the numbers have rebounded in recent history. The species occupies about 2/3 of its former range at this point. So this is an example of human conservation efforts actually saving an entire species of animal from the brink of death. At 1,000 to 2,000 individuals, sea otters were doomed. And especially if there were no laws passed, they would have been hunted to absolute non-existence. But people saw this happening and saw how fucking cute they were, and they were like, these animals are going to be gone forever. And so now, after years and years and decades of reversal, they're 2/3 of their normal population. So not great, but definitely not on the brink of dying forever. So the recovery of the sea otter, as I was saying, was considered an important success in marine conservation, although populations of the Aleutian Islands in California have recently declined or plateaued at depressed levels. For these reasons, the sea otter remains classified as endangered. So although their numbers are on the up, obviously we have to continue to preserve them.
Well, yeah. If they stop those measures, they're going to be gone very quickly.
Yes. They're mostly found in coral reefs and rocky coastlines. However, they can be found on soft bottom coastal areas. 90% of the world's sea otters live in coastal Alaska, as you can see here.
They like that Alaskan climate.
And the Aleutian island chain there as well.
That's crazy. It looks like their historic range. It goes all the way to Japan, it looks like.
Yeah. There are I think depictions of sea otters in ancient Japanese paintings and shit.
Yeah, so I think I've seen that.
So the North American range of sea otters extends from the Aleutian Islands to Prince William Sound. There are 3 species of otters: southern, northern, and Russian sea otters. The range of the California or southern sea otter extends from California to Mexico. In California, its north-south range is from about San Mateo County to Santa Barbara. It's like the central coast of California. The Alaskan or northern sea otter inhabits the northwest part of the United States. It occurs between southeastern Alaska and British Columbia. The Russian sea otter is found off western and northern Pacific. So those are your 3 types of sea otters. They all look pretty much the same. There's not a whole lot. Like I was going to pull pictures of each of them, but to be frank with you, if you didn't tell me that they were different species, I wouldn't have known. So that's for the scientists to suss out. They're obviously different.
Let them figure that shit out.
Minute species differences.
Some of the river otters, I think, can get like more like 6 feet or something. They get a little bigger, I think.
Yeah, they can. Otters. We may take a look at river otters, although they are a meaner and nastier creature, as Scotty has revealed.
Yeah, they fucking
don't
try to
fucking
kill Scotty.
Trust them, dude.
So sea otters' behavior. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what these cute little guys do all day long.
Yeah, what's this little bastard up to?
So sea otters' preferred method of moving around.
Cute.
Yeah, a sea otter's preferred method of moving around is floating around on his back, floating on the surface and moving not particularly fast. Swimming on his back, a sea otter moves at about a speed of 2 mph, so about 2 miles an hour, just paddling with his back feet and tails. A sea otter can sleep floating on its back, although it takes special precautions to prevent himself from accidentally floating out to sea. He anchors himself in place by wrapping himself in kelp before he nods off. Isn't that cute?
Yeah, it is.
They're like, oh, I'm so sleepy. Sea otter so sleepy. I wrap myself in kelp so sea otter take nap but not drift away. me.
Yeah.
Swimming underwater, sea otters can swim at speeds exceeding 5 miles an hour, so not super fast, but they're a little faster if they want to get up and go underwater and do some swimming. Sea otter lungs are about 25% larger than other mammals their size. They can only hold their breath for about 5 minutes underwater. And I say only, that's pretty impressive, but they're small animals, so they can't go forever underwater.
Right. They're not like a whale or something.
No, not at all. And they play it safe by usually not diving for longer than about 2 minutes. So your average otter isn't going to stay under anywhere near, just like a human, Human beings can actually go without oxygen way longer than they think they can, but your instinct tells you, like, go up, So,
of course.
Same thing for them. They usually down for about 2 minutes, they come up and take another little nap. Since they're coastal animals, they don't generally have the opportunity or need to stay underwater for longer than a couple minutes. Anyway, the deepest dive ever recorded for a sea otter, however, was less than 350 feet. So that's a reasonably deep dive, but, for a sea creature, not really.
They ain't exploring the Marianas Trench or something.
They're coastal animals. They live in the sea and the ocean, obviously, but they primarily stick near the coast.
It is the only marine animal as well capable of lifting and turning over rocks, which it often does. Scotty wanted to talk a little bit about this. It does with its front paws when it's searching for prey, so it'll look underneath rocks. Sea otters actually form an attachment with specific stones as they grow up, and they keep them in specialized pouches near their armpits, so it's like their little toy. Yes. Nobody really knows how sea otters choose their stone. But most sea otters will have one that they get usually when they're juveniles or pups, and they will keep it pretty much their whole lives.
My favorite stone.
And there's some evidence, although it's not conclusive, that some otters may pass them to their offspring. So it's almost like as they get older, they go like, "You may have my stone."
Here, my son, take this stone. It has served me well over my ottery life. It's like, all right.
So they do this shit called rock juggling, which I don't know. I didn't pull a video of it. I should have probably pulled a video of it. It's very fucking cute. Maybe the editor can throw some video of them doing it. I know you guys have probably seen it. Editor. They do this cute little rock juggling thing where they have they're laying on their back and they flip the rock around and they're clearly playing, and they'll drop it on purpose and then go dive and get it and get on their back and play with it again. So researchers believe that the rock juggling that they do, where they bat or throw the stones in the air, catch them or roll them around on their chests and necks, was a way of practicing or improving the way they retrieve food from mussels, clams, and other things they would typically forage in the wild. They're the only marine mammal that uses tools and rocks to break open shells. So that's another reason why they believe that they have an attachment to certain stones. They find one that they feel like, oh, yeah, this is the mussel breaker right here. This is the one. So they keep it.
Goddamn bastards.
Dude, it's like the trusty old rock. It's like, hey, you want some muscles? This is the rock, son.
They don't always use their special rock. Sometimes they'll just go grab a bigger rock and deal with the muscles. Sometimes they use their special rock.
I mean, you gotta weigh it out, you know, like you don't always want to use your special rock. Like, what if you break it? You got a particularly tough muscle. You might not want to risk the special rock on it. You know?
That's true. That's very fucking true.
I want to go grab you a temp rock to deal with that.
So most of the time when they're peeling open a mussel or a clam, they do it on their backs, and they've been observed taking their rocks and like tap, 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 tap against the muscle on their chest. But they've also been observed on the land using their rocks as anvils, basically they'll put a rock down and then grab another rock and put the clam on it and like a human would do, basically.
Brutal.
So pretty dope. And they do this to clams and crabs, by the way. They eat all kinds of shellfish. So they crack an animal open just like we would if we were out in the wild and needed to crack open a crab and eat it.
All right, I need to train a sea otter so I can eat crab easier.
Oh, yeah, dude, have him strip the fucking shell for you and give him a little piece of it, but he shares with you, you know?
Oh, yeah, dude, 'cause you know he's going to be good as fuck at it.
Yeah, so, and then you can be featured in my exotic pet nightmares, too.
Shit.
When they turn on you and rip you apart.
When sea otters go bad.
Sea otters. So sea otters, oh, my God. Oh, my God, be still
it's
my
praying.
heart.
It's a little praying sea otter.
Please conserve me. Don't let them come and take my fur again. Please.
We won't, little sea otter. We won't.
Don't do it.
I will die for you, sea otter. I will die for you, sea otter. So sea otters, as chill as they are, they got to eat a lot. They got to eat about 25% of their body weight each day to fuel their metabolism. So kind of like TJ, minus the metabolism.
Yeah. Right, minus the metabolism part.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I probably eat the same. I'm sure. Which is extra high because unlike marine mammals that like harbor seals, they don't have that blubber storage to stay warm. Their primary diet of sea otters consists of aquatic invertebrates, including crustaceans, sea urchins, mollusks, and fish. Besides, they also prefer crabs, large barnacles, mussels, snails, tube worms, clams, squid, octopuses, chitons, scallops, sea cucumbers, sea stars, and abalone.
So they don't fuck. They'll pretty much like the sea is their buffet, basically. They're just like, whatever. One of you.
If it's something that grows near the coast and it's meaty in tide pools and coastal areas, they eat it, basically. So
honestly, they seem well adapted to the environment because I mean, a lot of times you see species die out if it's, you know, of course, human intervention is a big part, but it's like they have one food source. Like these sound like these animals can eat a lot of different things. So
yeah, they're robust in their diets.
So the sea otter also plucks snails and other organisms from the kelp. So they're seen searching through kelp and plucking the snails off the kelp, and they dig deep in underwater mud for their clams. So they've been seen down at the bottom. They use their little forepaws to dig real deep in that underwater silt near the coast, find them clams. They're really good at it. They're the only marine mammal that'll reach out and snatch a fish, not with their mouth, but their forepaws. So they're instead of biting like every other marine mammal does when they're feeding on a fish, these guys catch them and then grab them and bite them.
Grab it up.
Pretty neat.
Eat that son of a bitch.
Here's one eating some umami. Human beings like to eat this. This is sea urchin guts.
Yum.
They're loving it. Look at how fucking cute he is. I just want to kiss him on his little face. You know what? Dinor looks a little sea otterish, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's
Can
a
you see the
sea otter
Dinor in this
on
picture?
the land. Yeah, he's a land otter.
Little slight Dinor. Yep, he's a land otter. You're right. They're actually, in addition to being cute, they're actually super important to the ecosystem that they feed in because they keep this animal, the sea urchin, in check. Urchins eat roots and kelp, and if they weren't kept in check, other animals that use kelp forests as their habitat and food source would be fucked, basically. So this, in turn, provides shelter for sea otter pups, and as we learned earlier, a little rope so they can take a nap. So cute. I think I'm so tired. Let me just tie the kelp to my little... Sorry. So when they're eating, they go through about 25 to 75 mussels an hour. So they're not fucking around. They're like TJ when he orders oysters. He's like, bring me 3 dozen and keep the tab open. You know what I mean? We're eating tonight. You know, they're going to town, like 25 to 75 fucking mussels an hour. That's a healthy plate of mussels right there. You know,
they don't fuck around. Dude, sea otters are. I like how much they eat. I like their fatness.
They're chunky and they love some food.
And I like how they just float around on their backs, like, that's the life. Think I'll eat some mussels, and they just go down there.
Yep.
Sounds like TJ, you get reincarnated, should be a sea otter.
And they don't give a fuck. They'll eat anything. They're just like, the sea is their big ass pantry, and they're just like, I'll eat a fish. Fish is just like swimming along.
They just
fuck you. You're
TJ,
dead.
they have a buffet. They have the sea buffet.
Right.
I think we've got
eat
a
a
video.
starfish. They don't give a shit.
We got a video that we can mute up of sea otters eating a king crab.
Yeah, eat that little fucking son of a bitch.
King crab is good.
It's delicious.
Rip him apart.
Oh,
destroy that motherfucker. Yeah, just eat him.
He just sucked all the meat out. You see him?
That sea otter don't give a fuck.
Now he's going for the claw meat.
That's what I'm telling you guys.
That's one crab that ain't going back to his crab wife and crab kids tonight.
Me
Fuck
and these
that
crabs,
piece of shit.
we're gonna have a deal. And that mean the crabs, excuse me, me and the sea otters. I give them one cooked crab, they eat that, and they peel the other one for me.
They ain't gonna fucking do that.
I know, man. Fuck.
They're gonna just eat that shit. They ain't gonna fucking. You ain't no way you're gonna train the sea otter to open it for you.
The sea otter will never betray me, TJ. He is my friend.
That sea otter's gonna fucking crack your skull and eat your brains. That's what that fucking sea otter probably was doing at you. He's probably yelling at you like, "Ooh, you with the tasty brains."
That wasn't the sea otter. That was the river otter.
Whatever, river otter. They're the same.
And that was a little tiny ass shrimp. He can try to eat my brains if he wants, but I don't think he's gonna.
I mean, when the whole pack of these motherfuckers shows up and starts fucking tapping on that little fucking empty noggin of yours,
won't they be disappointed?
Yeah, they're gonna be real disappointed.
According to you, they'd be disappointed. So you're saying
they're gonna open it up and they're gonna see there ain't no brain in there.
You're saying that they're dumb then.
I'm just saying that maybe they don't know what's what.
Because if I'm an empty-headed, buffoon,
they should go after a big brain like this one.
So honestly, I'm not even worried about it, dude. Because if they come into my house and be like, "Oh, you're looking for TJ,"
this fucking sea otter knows what's what.
Dude, they know how to eat some crab, don't they?
Yeah,
fuck yeah, dude. Take this motherfucker to the crab buffet.
Dude, I'll tell you what, they can do it better than me. Because I look like a fucking goddamn idiot trying to eat a fucking crab.
I'm pretty good
still
eating
do
crab, dude. If we ever get to visit Pismo together, I'm going to take you guys to the Cracked Crab. It's some of the best fucking crab ever. It's one of those places they just bring a bucket of crab and potatoes and stuff out and dump it on the table.
I like that. Good.
And you just eat and throw the shells on the ground. They don't give a fuck.
You can throw it on the ground. That's fucking savage.
Well, yeah, because you have your own thing. Like, they just sweep it up afterwards. So they tell you, don't worry about the shells. Just do whatever.
Yeah. Because most places you gotta like put it in some other bucket. I like it better just be like,
no, fuck this refined shit.
Just throw it.
It's a nice restaurant. People aren't like gross about it, but you can just like, you don't have to worry about it if you drop shells and shit.
I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw my shell at somebody else and be like,
throw it at the waiter. Like, fuck you, waiter.
I'm not throwing it at the waiter. I'm throwing it
right at the waiter's face.
So let's talk about baby otters. Of course, when we're talking about cuteness.
No.
I know.
Holy shit. What are you doing?
I know.
It's the little baby sweepy.
Doing here?
He's sweepy, TJ, and he wants
that
to take
mom looks
like babies.
He wants to take the widowest nap. Just the widowest nap. He's very tired, TJ, because he was playing with his stone all day.
Little fucking baby otter. What the hell?
So the gestation period for sea otters is immensely longer than other otters. River otters, like the one that accosted Scotty, they breed real quick. Sea otters, however, their gestation period lasts between 4 and 12 months.
Maybe a year.
Yep. They give birth to their pup in the water. They very rarely ever give birth on land. They give birth throughout the year with peaks in late May and June for the Alaskan type otters and March and September for California otters. After birth, the female watches her cub and grooms the pup's hair on her chest for the first few hours. Oh my God, so sweet. Newborn otters are extremely helpless because they're blind and not very mobile. The growth rate of the otter is very slow. Here's an older rescue sea otter pup doing his first diving and rolling. So I got a video for you of that. This is Joey, a rescued pup. And this is him first trying out his diving.
I'm a diver.
Look at me.
Holy diver.
I can do it.
You've been out too long in the midnight sea.
Dude, diving and spinning.
Yep, he's doing his rolls.
Spin.
Roll. Do a barrel roll, Joey.
Dive. Spin.
He can do it. Look at him. He can do it. So Joey has some pretty amazing skills here, as you can see. But it took him a while to learn those skills because, like I said, when pups are first come out, they basically have to be carried by their parents and nurtured by their parents, very much like human babies like that.
Gestation is long and development after birth is slow.
Yep. The first swimming attempts take place about 3 months old, but diving takes more time than that. After 4 months, they follow the male and female on nightly travels for food. About 8 months after birth, the pup begins to go out on its own and starts to try and take care of itself. They have an average litter size of one pup, but occasionally the female may give birth to twins, but the female only takes care of one of the pups and the other pup usually dies, which is kind of savage.
Even if there are twins, just like, which one's better? You look stronger. You get taken care of.
All right, you're the backup.
I guess that if this one dies, you get your chance at life, but otherwise you fucked.
They are not perfect. Their babies are fucking adorable, but their mating ritual is anything but adorable. The process of reproduction begins with the male courting a female sea otter. The male sea otters will swim around, search for females that are in heat. When courting, the males tend to swim face down in a swimming posture, moving faster than normal. When they're encountered by a female, the male tries to embrace her or sniff her body. So they're like Joe Biden.
They Joe Biden it.
They Biden it.
They sniff her.
How do you smell, Jack?
The males will then, the two will usually, hold on. If the male is rejected, he gets pushed or shoved away.
Damn.
The two will usually separate themselves from the group for a few days when this mating begins. The male will grasp the female, bite down on her nose, and hold on, usually resulting in deep cuts and gouges, sometimes with chunks of flesh torn away from the female's face.
Wow, they fucking tense.
Yeah. During the reproduction cycle, females get the nickname Rudolph because after mating, the female's nose is bloody and red.
Oof.
Mating only takes between 15 and 30 minutes. These 30 minutes tend to be very vigorous and intense for both parties. So it's not like a passive thing like we saw with the camels, you know?
Yeah.
Not that people have seen that shit yet.
Can you
People might, they might have seen it. But if they haven't, then whatever. Watch
I'm looking
Exotic
at this
Pets
one.
Attack or whatever.
And dude, the one on the right looks like he's busting a nut. If that's a female, then I don't know shit about sea otters, and that's probably confirmed by that. But that's what I imagine because he's like,
You might be true. And this is kind of cute though. After this somewhat violent mating in our eyes, sea otters are actually really sweet to each other. So it's like aftercare after a BDSM scene. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, otters, I mean, that's what they do, man.
dude, holding hands.
Yeah, see, look
What
how sweet it is.
Adorable fucking thing.
I mean, they've been
dude.
through something together now at this point.
Yep.
Like they've been through like a traumatic sex act where, blood has been drawn,
The
noses have been bitten
The
off.
nut has been busted. Nose is bitten.
Horrible
Bloody,
things have
raw.
happened.
So
It's been
they-
intense.
they
They
will
fuck
often
like maniacs for 30 straight minutes, Now
Yeah.
they want to fucking cuddle.
Yep. So after they're done fucking, you often see sea otters in this exact pose. This is not just happenstance. They lay on their backs and hold hands.
This is postcard shit right here.
This is what they do after they fuck. They lay on their backs and take a little nap, and they hold hands with each other.
They're motherfucking adorable is what they are.
I know. Sea otters in captivity. Let's talk about this.
All right.
Sea otters can actually
That's
do
a harbor seal.
Yeah, this is a harbor seal. So
Here we go.
yeah, there you go. Sea otters can actually do really well in captivity. They're featured in in over 40 public aquariums and zoos. The Seattle Aquarium, which we've been to, became the first institution to raise otters from conception to adulthood with the birth of this otter to Chuck in 1979. Followed by 3 more pups in the early 1980s. Organizations like Marine Mammal Rescue try to rehabilitate sea otters that have been separated from their mothers or have been injured. Sometimes they can be re-released into the wild, but some, especially those that were rescued very young, as is true for a lot of baby animals, if they're rescued, they find themselves unable to function alone in the wild.
They just ain't got the skills to pay the bills out there in the fucking natural world.
Right. They were just never
learned.
trained by a parent otter. And, you know, as much as well as we try to train them, some of them just are never able to do it. And so those otters require care for the rest of their lives. That doesn't mean you should keep one as a pet. They're illegal to own under the Marine Animal Protection Act because they're endangered. It takes significant expertise and resources to care for an otter. As we mentioned earlier, they can be quite aggressive.
I mean, look, these are brutal predators. I mean, like, face it, as cute as they are, like, that list of things they eat is basically like any living thing that crosses their path.
Can I eat
that's
that?
Like
yes.
small enough for them to do it.
Can I eat that? Yes. Can I eat that? I mean,
so these are like ravenous carnivores that just like devour anything that's small enough for them to possibly overpower and eat. So
would they be omnivores?
I didn't hear anything about them eating any plants. Like when he was talking about their diet, it was just all like starfish and fish. I mean, like and crabs
like
and stuff.
Like tuber or whatever those are, like the like barnacles or whatever, like sea cucumbers are like a barnacle, right? That's not a plant necessarily.
But it's, like, I mean, it's probably closer to an animal than it is to a plant.
It is.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're pretty much carnivores, right?
They're 100% carnivores.
Yeah. I mean, most animals, even carnivores, will have like a little bit of plant matter in their diet. But I mean, like from what I understand, this like
die on that hill, TJ. Got any proof of that?
No, I don't. I'm just talking my ass. But
pull that one right out of your ass, didn't you,
dude? When I every time I've ever gone to a zoo or an aquarium and seen sea otters, or even river otters, they're always playing. They're always having fun. They're always like running around. They'll run around on the land and then they'll jump in the water and then they'll chase each other through the land and through the water and just have like, I mean, they're just so cute to observe because they're so like, they're just an animal with a big personality. So
true.
I love otters. They're great.
Me too. And that's what
I'm gonna get some otters as a pet. What do you think, Scotty?
Yeah.
I mean, Scotty, you can see him jerking off over there. Look at him. He's fucking furiously masturbating.
Wait, what?
No, your arm is all like, so.
Oh, yeah, I'm not, though. I swear. I have to go clean up. Sorry.
Yeah, go get a Kleenex or something. Jesus. I mean, we all love otters here, but I think you've gone a little too far with it.
Now you know why the otter didn't like me.
Yeah. Fucking sensed something was amiss.
Deep bad pride. Deep bad pride. Deep bad